Hi parents, I'm looking forward to working with you on our 6th grade Treasures of Culture unit. I'm really excited, especially about our culminating excursion. It's a fit with all of their studies so far in language arts and cultures and science. It's everything coming together. They've written a character that they're going to get to dress up as and become on this field trip, and hopefully visit the past and recognize things that they've read about and seen about and get to interact with them. So it ought to be a really exciting and satisfying field trip for the kids. But in order, of course, to be able to pay for it and to have transportation there and to make these experiences rich, that's what the pledges on the Learn-a-thon are paying for. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what the excursion looks like. First of all, I should tell you that the excursion is a surprise to a certain degree to your kids, so if they're sitting with you in the room watching this video, this would be a good time to turn it off and send them out of the room, because I'm going to give you a level of detail that it would be better if they don't have. It'll just make the experience better for them. So, okay, you're back. So, now, let me tell you, the date of the field trip is Tuesday, the 15th of May. It goes from the afternoon. We'll leave school in the afternoon and we'll go to our location, which is 4 Mile Historic Park. It's not very far away. It's just off of Leesdale in Glendale, and and we'll be there until 8 p.m. So it goes past the school day. So kids will need to be picked up from the excursion, or if we need to, we'll have a bus that brings them back to the school. In the afternoon, the kids will have 6 experiences. They'll be in groups of 20, and they'll go from one cultural experience to the next. And the groups of 20 will have kids who have studied various different cultures. But there'll always be kids who will be able to recognize the experience and guide the other kids in their group through the experience, which is kind of nice. Each experience is an art form that's present in the culture. It's a treasure of that culture. And then the 7th experience is one that everybody will share together. So let me tell you a little bit about each of these experiences. The Japanese experience, in the Japanese books that the kids read, they read and recite poetry. So it'll be a poetry experience where they'll get to paint on pieces of silk, haiku poems that they know or that they have written, like they do in the books. In the Chinese experience, they'll probably do some things with Chinese herbal medicine and understanding plants and identifying plants. And in the Native American experience, they'll get to learn dancing. We have a great group of Cheyenne dancers, and there's a Cheyenne location on site there, so that'll be a wonderful experience for them. The African American experience will be based in the pioneer migration, and the African American experience will look at a wagon and what people took west with them, and that'll be run by 4 Mile. And then the French experience will be a drama and perhaps musical experience for kids, where they'll create something along the line of classical French drama. And in the Italian experience, of course, they're going to cook. They're going to make pasta and sauce, and then they'll all go to dinner, and the dinner will be a catered dinner, so we'll need to get a caterer who will make a big Italian dinner. And that's when the parents are invited back, all the parents of all the kids, to join us for dinner. And then the final experience will be a Spanish storyteller and perhaps some Spanish music. So that's really what the field trip is really about. To volunteer to help with this, what we'll need is teams of people that will work on each sort of cultural experience. So what a team might do is they'll have figure out how to gather materials that kids will need, like pieces of silk or haiku boots or books or ink or medicinal herbs or whatever it is. They'll gather the materials the kids need. The way that they'll gather it is hopefully to get some donations. We have some ideas of where that can happen, and if not, we'll have to find them. So we'll have to kind of find donations for the materials we need to make these experiences rich. There also, hopefully we'll find an artist who can guide the children through the experience and contract with the artists. We have some leads of some artists that we already know are willing to help us with this project, and others that we still have to find. So your connections to a cultural community will really be helpful if you know of anybody who does Italian cooking or knows a bit about Japanese calligraphy or anything like that. Please, that would be wonderful and really make it rich for our kids. Of course, we'll need chaperones to work with each group of kids and take them around from experience to experience, and that will be just a lot of fun to just, if you can be there with us during that time, during the afternoon and evening. And then of course people need to set up the experience in the location in 4 Mile and clean it up after the last group of kids are gone. Volunteers will need to help kids participate in the experience, like encourage the kids who recognize what's going on in that experience to explain it to the other kids, help the artists pass things out or make things clear to kids, things like that. So that's another thing that somebody working on a cultural team would do. All of these sort of roles are very easy. It's not, there's not high stakes for them. We just want the kids to really understand and have a good time. One thing that I hope will happen at the stations is that the volunteers, while the kids are talking about the experience, will write down sound bites on little gold coins, like little round circles of paper, and write down what the kids say, and just keep them until the kids go to dinner. And then while the kids are going to dinner and their parents are coming in, they'll bring those little things that kids said on pieces of paper, and we'll put them on a big map so that the whole community can see what the kids understand about the treasures of that culture, just based on what they said while they were participating in the experience. So it'll bring the whole thing together, and the whole community will be able to read what the kids say and see it live, including the kids, who I think will be pretty surprised and delighted that somebody paid attention to that. So, and then they'll just go home with their parents, and that will be hopefully the end of a very long but satisfying day. So I hope that kind of gives you a picture of the excursion and what you might need to think about as you decide to volunteer and help. We need people on these teams. If we don't get enough volunteers, we can't make these experiences the way they should be for the kids. So any role, small or big, that would be, it would really be appreciated. You have the information, so please contact our parent volunteers and coordinators and get involved. I really look forward to working with you. And again, don't reveal any of this to the kids. Thanks.